Now, what does this headline actually say to you? Take a closer look. That's right, this particular person apparently has his mental health triggered because working at the BBC, if he enters a room and it's full of white people, well, it sets it off. I mean, really? Now, here on the show, we like to dispel those sort of myths and rumours. I've worked with this particular gentleman many years ago, and at that particular point, he seemed relatively sane. I've also worked for many areas of the BBC, including Radio 1, Radio 2, BBC Asian, Radio 4, you name it. I've never been triggered by anything. In fact, I have to say some of the most fun times I had was working indeed on BBC Asian Network. We did a lot of comedy on there and it was great fun. So the question you might ask yourself is this particular gentleman, is that triggered by going into a room with white people at the BBC? Why doesn't he simply go and be transferred to another area? Or maybe even go to the commercial sector, like Kiss FM or somewhere like that? This is really about one thing at the BBC. A man hitting his 40s who hasn't exactly got where he really wants to be. And so guess what? Use the race card and then once again, you get yourself into all the tabloids and talked about. But more importantly, the BBC will look at him and think, look, there's younger, cheaper, funkier, trendier people. It's called show business. You had your moment. It's time to move on. But when you look at this particular individual, do you actually feel sorry for them? Or indeed, do you now think to yourself, grow up, grab a spine, and more importantly, be grateful that you have a job at the BBC that pays you over $80,000 a year? I know what a lot of people out there will think. If you'd like more stories like this, do join me exclusively on my YouTube channel at Neil Chaunch.